This is BNN, the most trusted name in nonsense.
Welcome to the DullardsClub for this week. It's the Dysfunctional Family Show. And here we are, and you're just in time for the Daily Gripe. I have a daily gripe, and that is that I can't ever come up with a decent gripe. And I don't know why that is, but I feel compelled and pressured into griping about something and just picking one thing to gripe about. And there are so many things that are going on now that just keep me totally depressed.
So I got a gripe.
What's your gripe, Rich?
My gripe is the volume that movie directors apply to movies, where the music and the sound effects are significantly louder than the dialogue. In movie theaters, it's not as big of a deal as it is on home television. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
it is.
And I always watch with headphones, and it's still, I mean, that's one of the reasons I do, is that I can watch with headphones and subtitles and rewind when I miss the whispered dialogue after the jet fucking flying overhead.
Well, it's when everybody in your building knows that you're watching a movie.
A large part is because technically they can make the quote-unquote sound design that much more impactful, but at the expense of the dialogue. When it's like, okay, I want to be immersed to some extent, but I don't want to miss the whole point is the writing.
There are very few movies where I've actually complained, movie theaters experiences where I've actually complained about the volume, and Oppenheimer was one of them. It was just excruciating to sit through that.
Was it a dialogue thing or a sound effects or what in Oppenheimer? I forget.
It was everything. The volume of the entire movie was just way too loud.
What's your gripe, Don?
If you're looking for a tradesperson, whatever it is, auto mechanic, plumber, electrician, whatever it is, or just a service, any kind of business, service business, how do you determine the fine line between incompetence and a scammer? Let's take the duct cleaning services, for example. If you Google it, that's a big scam business. They come in and say, you need this, you need this, you need this, we'll do this, we'll charge you X amount of dollars, and they may not even do the work, they may do a poor job on the work, or they just may not know what the hell they're doing. You don't need qualifications now. You can't tell.
It's impossible to tell.
So that's my gripe. Unless you know somebody who used somebody and can vouch for the person.
It's the same with anything. If you want to pick a doctor, you have no idea whether that doctor's good or not.
No, but, and yes, granted, somebody is last in the class in medical school, but there is still criteria.
That's my doctor.
There's still degrees, there's still qualifications that you have to have MD after your name.
I think with regard to contractors and electricians and plumbers, the majority of the time, if they don't suggest that you get a permit to do the work, then you can assume that they're a little bit shady.
That's true, but that's when you go, okay, do they at least have a license? Are they licensed in the state?
Well, I guess anybody with a pickup truck and a hammer now is considered a handyman, right?
Well, and you can make business cards with a friggin' printer. If you've got the money to buy the tools, a broom and a vacuum, a shop vac, and you can get an overall uniform and get a fucking name tag on it,
like those
you're in business.
Those gypsies that drive around doing driveway sealing scams.
You're taking a chance. You're either going to get scammed or they're not going to do a good job. If you find somebody who's great and does a good job, make sure you treat them well. That's my gripe.
Anyway,
I feel like I want to laugh.
Well, I think you deserve a laugh, and we all deserve a laugh. So, it's joke time.
Yay!
You must have a joke, Pat.
Well, I do, but it's very, very much in sync with what we've been talking about before with the malaise that we're all feeling these days with the economy and the rest of it, So here's a list of jokes that I think will fall into that category. Okay. My neighbor got a pre-declined credit card in the mail. CEOs are now playing miniature golf.
Oh.
ExxonMobil laid off 25 congressmen. Things are bad, Did you hear the McDonald's is selling the quarter ouncer now? Anything. Angelina Jolie adopted a child from America.
Oh,
that's
my
how bad
God,
things
really?
are getting. Parents in Beverly Hills fired their nannies and they had to learn their children's names. A truckload of Americans was caught sneaking into Mexico.
Oh, geez. Well, that happens.
Now, a picture, they say, is worth 1,000 words, but now it's only worth 200.
Yeah.
When Bill and Hillary travel together, they now have to share a room.
Oh, that's a shame.
Things are bad, The Treasure
That's
Island
bad.
Casino in Las Vegas is now managed by Somali pirates.
Wait, are Bill and Hillary sharing the same room, or do they each have to share a room with someone?
Well, that, they never
It's more
really
likely.
specified that one. Yeah, right. I called to get a Blue Book value on my car, and they asked me if the tank was empty or full.
That's pretty good.
Well, finally, I got to say, I'm so depressed. Last night I was
How
thinking
depressed are you?
I was thinking about the economy, wars, jobs, my savings, Social Security, retirement funds, the whole deal. So I called the suicide hotline and I got a call center in Afghanistan. When I told them I was suicidal, they got all excited and asked me if I could drive a truck.
All right, I got one.
Okay.
There's an empty lot on the street. Next door, there's a family with a little 4-year-old girl living. And one day, a bunch of contractors showed up and started building a house on the empty lot. And the little girl noticed all the activity, and she went out to see what was going on. And she was watching these guys all day long, and she did this for a couple of days. She would observe everything that they were doing. And every once in a while, they'd give her little jobs to do, and they'd let her sit down with them in the coffee break and lunchtime. And eventually, she became kind of a mascot for the whole construction crew. At the end of the week, they gave her a pay envelope with $10 inside. And she told her mother, and the mother says, let's go to the bank and we'll start a savings account. So they go to the bank, and the teller takes the envelope, and she says, "That's my first paycheck." And the teller looks at it, he says, "Wow, that's amazing. How did you earn this?" He says, "I've been working with the construction crew building the house next door to mine." And he says, "Oh, wow." He says, "How long you been doing that?" She says, "All week." And he says, "Are you going to be doing it next week too?" And she says, "Yeah, if those assholes from Home Depot bring the fucking drywall."
You'll see there's a little similarity into my joke. Now, Pat, if you hadn't done yours, I would have a different set of things. But I'm going to have to go with my other option, which in this case, sadly, is a Polish joke. Now, I have to qualify it. It's only a Polish. I really looked at it and said, "Oh, I'm going to just make it Irish because I'm Irish." And then I realized I can't do that. It doesn't make sense. A guy goes into a store and tells the clerk, "I'd like some Polish sausage." The clerk looks at him and says, "Are you Polish?" The guy, clearly offended, says, "Well, yes, I am, but let me ask you something. If I had asked for Italian sausage, would you ask me if I was Italian? Or if I had asked for German bratwurst, would you ask me if I was German? Or if I asked for a kosher hot dog, would you ask me if I was Jewish? Or if I had asked for a taco, would you ask if I was Mexican? Would you? Huh? Would you?" The clerk says, well, no. Well, with deep self-righteous indignation, the guy says, "Well, all right then. Why did you ask me if I was Polish just because I asked for Polish sausage?" The clerk replies, "Because this is Home Depot."
That's a good one. I like that one.
I like that, too.
Chortle.
Okay.
All right. Hey, you know what that brings us to, of course?
Yes.
It's time to stump the Dullards. We're
I
moving
know.
along here this week.
Who wants to go first?
I have a couple of them. I mean, I've been kind of on a Gilligan's Island kick the last few weeks, and why should I change? But besides Gilligan's, name 4 other TV shows that are based on island themes.
Well, Fantasy Island comes to mind.
Very good. I forgot about that one.
Let's see what else.
5-0 maybe?
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
It's set on an island. It's Magnum
That's
PI,
true.
also on Hawaii.
Fantasy Island's the only one I can think of.
I mean, Fantasy Island, that's a good one. And
That's
Mr.
good.
Rourke. And
Other than that, looks like we're stumped.
what about Love Island? You guys heard of
Love
Oh, yeah,
Love
that was
Island?
a reality show, wasn't it?
That doesn't count.
It doesn't. It has the word island in it.
I know, but
So does Rhode Island.
How about Lost?
Lost is good. That's good. I never saw it, but I understand it was based on an island. The plane crashed on an island.
Exactly. I think it was the same island that Gilligan was on, and that Tom
That's
Hanks
Tom
was on.
Was on.
I got a bonus question for you, really quick.
Okay.
Name 10 occupations practiced by the Three Stooges.
Oh, carpenter,
doctor,
plumber,
carpenter.
doctor, tree surgeon, the buckalist persimmon. They were exterminators.
Yeah.
They were regular surgeons too, weren't
They
they?
were gas station attendants.
Yeah.
They were college professors.
Yeah, there were circus workers too, right? They worked in a roustabouts, I guess you'd call them. Oh, that's a good one. But you pretty much name an occupation. It goes back to is it a scam or is it incompetence?
They were ice deliverers.
Oh yeah,
Remember
ice
they delivered
delivery.
the ice?
Fish. They had a fish.
Fishmongers.
Fishmongers.
Fishmonger. They were
Fresh fish.
professors.
They were generals or in the military, and they were cowboys and dentists.
Spies.
Yeah.
Spies, you nasty spy. That's a good one. I like that. Geez, I was going to say pretty much next week we could probably continue. They were this and this and this.
I got a stumper.
I have a stumper. Do yours, Rich. I'll think about how to construct this thing.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a musical one. Which group or artist had the most albums? I think it's number 1, actually. Number 1 albums in the Billboard Hot 100 in the same year.
We're back to Billboard Hot 100.
Artist.
Well, see, your initial instinct is to say the Beatles, but apparently it wasn't, or you wouldn't even ask the question.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Sonny and Cher.
Nope.
Frank Sinatra.
Nope.
Eagles?
Not the Eagles.
No, it's the Eagles.
I'll give you a
Was
hint.
it?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
The number of albums they had at the same time in the same year was 4.
Really, in the same year?
Hey, Michael Jackson.
Nope.
That's a decent guess, though.
Guesses.
60s, 70s, 80s?
60s.
Okay. Beach Boys?
Nope.
Four Seasons.
Nope.
The Supremes.
After this year of 4 top albums, were they still relevant and producing top albums?
I believe so, but they were probably on the wane.
Temptations, 4 tops. Motown or?
Not Motown.
Okay.
We need one more hint before we give
I
up.
was going to say I may have to give up. But
They
go
were
ahead.
all male.
The Letterman.
Nope.
No.
Think mid to late 60s.
The Association.
Oh, that's a good guess, though. But they weren't just males, I think.
I think they were. They were all male.
Were they?
There
I
was
thought
one
there was a
Asian,
woman.
too.
I thought there was a...
One was trans, I think. But
All right.
wow.
This is a good stumper.
Yeah, and we are stumped.
Okay.
So
I'm actually
let's-
surprised that you haven't guessed it.
So am I. That's a pretty big accomplishment. 4 number 1 albums in a year, and we can't remember it. That's really embarrassing.
The band was the Monkees.
I didn't think they even made 4 albums.
Oh yeah, they made at least 4.
Yeah, I think they actually did
They-
make 4 albums. It
They
was all
were
the same
milking
year.
that cash cow as fast as they could.
Mine is also music related, and I'm just going to wing it and sort of stumble through the clue giving. What pop rock group, I'll say, had a hit song in 1965? Big hit song. Very popular band. At the time, the lead singer, he went on to become a guitarist and a backup singer with a very popular band led by one of the world's most famous and influential artists ever.
Denny Lane?
Very good, Pat. How the hell did you know that?
Well, the last part of the clue is what gave it to me.
Okay.
Because I know that he joined Wings at one point.
I did not know that, and that's exactly right. And I heard that, I think it was on the Beatles channel, and when they said that, I was like, Denny Lane really was the lead? I was more, I knew he was in Wings.
Yeah,
the
Moody
surprise
Blues
to me was the fact that he was in the Moody Blues, and that the song Go Now was him, lead singer.
All right, I got another quick stumper for you.
Okay. All right.
Do you remember the group The Archies?
Of course.
Yes.
And their big hit, Sugar Sugar.
Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I wish you hadn't said that aloud. Earworm time.
You know that was not a real band. It was basically the concoction of one guy. And I forget his name. It's something like Ron Dante or something like that.
Yeah.
But that same guy had another hit song. And basically the same situation where it was a concocted band. And it was basically just him singing.
Vaguely remember
What was the song? Mid-60s.
Similar kind of band, a band in name only.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Was it
a one-hit wonder.
Was it associated with a cartoon show?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Tracy by the Cufflinks.
The Cufflinks.
Tracy.
That's his, huh?
Tracy, when I'm with you.
Yep.
I mean, that's very Tommy James and the Shondells.
Yeah.
Tommy Rowe. That's whole era.
Tommy James and the Shondells. If you read his biography,
that's a good biography.
Really good book.
Yeah, that's a really good book. We should end on that note because I agree. I recommend that book. One of those ones that surprised me. Learned a lot about him that I didn't know. I just sort of dismissed him out of hand, but there was a lot going on
and
there.
It's not just because of his experiences in the music business. It's all related to the mob.
Yeah.
Huh, very cool.
On that
All right. Well,
note.
on that note, we're out of here. The Dullards Club for this time is going to wrap it up. But we advise you, or we certainly recommend strongly, a book about Tommy James. Is it Tommy James and the Shondells, or just Tommy James?
The Shondells came and went, but Tommy James was the fixture that was part of it. Yeah.
All right. So read it. Get your head out of your phone and your computer and pick up a book and read it. And otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Glad you said phone.